Hello, Four-Star Nation, and welcome to SIdeCar Cafe here in beautiful Witten Road. It's Sunday morning, 11:30. Got two screens going. You can see me. You can see our guest. We've got Brandon Bumgarner over here. Tiger legend Brady White has joined us this morning. Let's talk a little bit about last night's game, Brady. We were there. We were in the press box covering it for Four Star. Had a great time. Thank you to everybody from Arkansas State for that great accommodations. I think last night when you look at Seth Hennigan, I think he once again played very poised, played very well under pressure. But can I just talk about this guy's arm? He put a ball on Calvin Austin last night down that left sideline. That was one of the most beautiful passes I've ever seen in my life. Talk a little bit about Seth Hennigan and how excited you are to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he had another really good performance. Week one was a good start to the season. Nothing special or anything, but a really good team win, really good, solid quarterback play, and then he just piggybacked on it last night. And obviously, had a little bit more of a breakout night. I thought the entire team played well. Offensive line did a really good job at giving him solid protection throughout the night. There was a couple of things that happened, but that's going to happen in a football game. But we established the run game really well, and then Seth was just really on point in the passing game. He was really accurate all night. Took care of the football. Didn't really put it in jeopardy, if I can remember correctly. And a handful of throws to Calvin. Obviously, Calvin had a huge night. Seth was on point. So I was really pumped on the sideline, watching it happen, watching the whole thing unfold. The kid, like you said, is very poised. He's pretty wise and mature for being a true freshman, and so it's cool to see him have those two games. I understand those aren't going to be our conference, talent and whatnot, but that was an exclamation point for our team, and so it's really nice to see that to start the season.
Yeah, I think as far as momentum, that was a very good game that Seth played
Absolutely.
going into
Yeah.
an SEC opponent. Brady, people know that you're now helping out with the team, helping with Seth at quarterback. Kind of talk about your role with the team right now and what you're doing to stay ready for the NFL and everything like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I'm not on the staff. I'm not a coach, so I'm just here in the city of Memphis. I can come and sit in this restaurant for 24 hours a day if I want. I can do whatever I want. So I'm out in the city. I got here like a week ago. I just got out here. I'm just training, staying ready, lifting, throwing, running, working out, being ready for whenever I get my call and get my opportunity with the league. Um, and I've got nothing else better to do than to be around football and help this program that I care so much about. So that's why I'm constantly around and helping out any way I can. Obviously, I've told Seth that while I'm here, I don't know when I'm going to be gone. I could be gone tomorrow. I want to help him as much as I possibly can, and so it's fun for me. It's not my job, but it's just something I love to do, and it's been a fun time so far.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but last night, Grind City Media, it's the Grizzlies media
Yeah.
thing, posted the video of you putting your arm around Seth after the game. That gave me chills because that was the greatest Memphis quarterback of all time,
Yeah,
putting his arm around and helping raise up the future next best Memphis quarterback, hopefully.
yeah,
And he it just gave me chills, man. As a Tiger fan, I really appreciated seeing that. I appreciate seeing you invest in him, and not only him, but the team in general,
yeah,
staying around the program, staying involved. That's part of the problem with Memphis in the past. We haven't had the culture that we needed, and I think the culture's finally getting there because you have former players like yourself, Al Bloodworth, um, Alan Cross, who's now GA on staff.
yeah,
Guys like that are coming back to support what they helped build,
yeah,
and that's how you establish a culture with the football program. And I think Memphis is starting to get that culture that we never really had in the first place.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I felt that when I got here, and that was one of the things that attracted me to this place was, um, I was watching while I was at Arizona State because of the ties with Norvell. I just was watching their team, and they're playing a win brand football. And I think you had alumni and former players pouring into those groups. And then those teams, the Anthony Millers and Phil Mayhews and all those guys. And there's a ton of other people, so I don't want to feel like I'm leaving guys out, but they would come back and you'd pour into my teams, and whether that's financial, contributions to the beautiful facilities we put up, or just being around, um, sharing, stuff with the guys, whether it's in a team meeting or just casually seeing them in the hallways or around the city. And so that was super cool, and that's something that I experienced, and obviously, towards the end of my tenure when I was kind of set to kind of rewrite the record was, Danny was extremely supportive and extremely encouraging with me. And so, I mean, that's just who we are, man. That we're going to be Tigers through and through. And it's kind of that dynamic of like, when you're like, I have a little brother, and you want your little brother to learn from you, to grow up and to be just as good, if not better. And so I felt that from Danny, maybe not a brotherly, but like, he really wanted me to succeed. He really, he wants to hold his records, but he really wants to see the success of another quarterback, another program, or another team, I should say. And I feel the same way, because I feel like we've had large contributions into helping get this program to where it's at, and to get the guys that we have in place. And we want to see them, take this thing over and take it to new heights.
Yeah, exactly, Wes.
Brady, just a second ago, you said something. You said that you were not a coach.
Yeah.
What is it? Let me ask you this: with you working with Seth, does that not kind of make you kind of a quarterback coach in a way, or is it more like a mentorship?
Yeah, I'm just here, man. Like I said, I could be gone tomorrow. So I'm just fortunate to have awesome relationships with the coaching staff, Silverfield and Coach Johns, and everyone in that building is kind enough, and they're allowing me. They don't have to. They could be like, "Look, dude, you're not. We've got our staff. It's cool for you to be around and work out, but let us do our thing." But no, Coach Silverfield was very kind, very welcoming, and I'm not. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, and I don't want to like overdo it. So I'm very just. I kind of keep to myself, but I'm around.
Yeah.
And so, like you see on game days, I'm not doing a ton. I'm really just kind of analyzing, watching stuff, taking it all in, and I'm there for Seth. I'm there for the team, and plus, a lot of these guys are my former teammates, so I care about them and their success, and want to help them out and keep them excited and involved. So, yeah, I don't really, that's why everyone thinks I'm a coach. And I'm just fortunate enough to have coaches around that let me kind of hang out, do my thing, and chime in whenever I can. But I let them coach. I'm there as more of a mentor and just helper.
When you look at the quarterback position, of course, you, in my opinion, our opinion, are the greatest of all time at Memphis. When you look at the quarterback position for this university and the future of it, obviously we talk about Seth Kinnigan and all the talent that he has. What's something that the Tiger fans out there may not know about Seth that you really enjoy about it?
I mean, you obviously his talent and quarterback play is going to get put on display over the years, and so the fans will get to see that for their own. And he's still, he's only 2 games in. He still has to prove that he can consistently do it, which I think he will. But the one thing that I love about Seth, and I've only been here for a couple of weeks, so I need to get to know him more. But he seems like a very authentic individual. He's his own unique self person, and he embraces it. And that's one thing that I know this city will appreciate, because they did it with me. I'm myself, and the city of Memphis always will respect and appreciate someone that's genuine, and you might not be a certain way or look a certain way, but if you're true to who you are and you just have a love and respect for the city and you're a part of the Memphis team, you're going to get embraced. You're going to get arms wrapped around you. Hopefully quicker than they were to me, but that's part of. It is. You guys laugh, but it's just part. It's part of history. It's part of laying the groundwork. And I think this city doesn't understand how fortunate they've been for the last.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
6 years, 7 years.
I mean, yeah, it might even be more than that. You have what, Riley for 2.
You had Paxton for 2 really good years.
Yeah.
You had
3
Riley for 2 good years, and then we had you for 3 good years.
So that's
6, 7
6 or 7
that's
years,
like
8 years now.
9 years.
Yeah.
So that's the thing there, a decade of really, really good quarterback play.
That you've become spoiled by.
Yeah. And I don't want to say they're spoiled, but I just hope that, it's I think they now realize it. And which is cool. And so I think the kid is going to get supported, and trust me, it means the world to collegiate athletes when they have the support of the fans in the city. Not that it matters, because it doesn't, but when you have it, it's a great feeling. And so I'm excited to watch him to continue to develop. And if he continues to play the way he's playing, this place will fall in love with them like they're starting to already.
Exactly.
It'll be sweet.
And people are already calling him Henny God, which is hilarious.
Exactly. So we'll see. But if you have that guy for 4 years and he plays at a high level, we're going into years 14 of quarterback play.
That it's unbelievable to think of where we were, and I say this all the time, and Al's heard it, and Wes has heard it, and I'm sure you've heard it since you got here. When we look back to the Larry Porter era, when we had a 2-win season, and we regressed to a 1-win year, and they thought about doing away with the entire football program.
Yeah.
We never would have thought in a million years we would be in this spot that we're in right now.
Correct.
That's including the groundwork that you laid out. That's including what Seth is doing right now and Coach Silverfield is doing right now. It's immeasurable. Like I thought that we could be a bowl game team every year. I didn't think we were going to make a Cotton Bowl. I didn't think we were. I didn't think we had potential to have we had potential. I didn't think that we would be as good as we were.
Yeah.
And you have to give credit to Justin Fuente, who came in here
and
did that. You have to give credit to Coach Norvell, who came in here and did that. And now Coach Silverfield is
picked it up.
I mean,
taking the ball and running with it.
The analogy I like to use is Fuente built the foundation, Norvell put up the sides of the house, and Silverfield is just building upwards because there's no roof on this thing. There's no roof on this program. There's no roof on this university. And that's the sad part, because if you look at conference expansion lately, we were left out of the first expansion thing for the Big 12, and it really frustrates me as a Tiger fan and a lot of other Tiger fans.
It's not just our football program; it's the entire city.
Yeah,
that's why it's Memphis versus everybody. But
that'll
always. It doesn't shock me. Now, I do think genuinely, I think that the Big 12 does want maybe a couple more teams. I could see us in Boise potentially getting that nod. And now whether that comes this year or 2 years, who knows? But we have to continue.
We've done everything we can do.
Yes.
But we have to continue.
We have
to continue it because we are the kid that has a very short leash within the family. You know what I'm saying? So we love it that way. You know why? Because that's who we are. We love having that pressure, that chip on our shoulder, and we're gonna go earn it like we've earned everything else, and demand the respect that we deserve. And but that's what we have to do. We can't take any steps backwards because then it gives people excuses.
Exactly. I am very, very excited for the future of not just the football program, but basketball, women's basketball.
Yeah.
Baseball's putting money into the program now. Our women's soccer team is undefeated with one tie.
They're killing it.
They're ranked top 15 in the country. They've beaten.
And they've been killing it for the last few years.
They've been awesome. Yeah. You had multiple track and field athletes representing the Olympics. It's just really cool to see the culture of the university match the culture of the city, which you understand.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because a lot of people that come through this city don't understand this city. And you got it from the get-go. And it really, I think it changed the way people look at Memphis football and the university in general. Because back when I was a kid, you know, we were known as the team that had a basketball player who jumped a bar on Beale Street and beat somebody up. You know, that's what we were. That's what everybody thought about Memphis.
I'm sorry for laughing.
And so, no, I mean that's a true story though. Joey Dorsey jumped over a bar and beat somebody up in a bar on Beale Street. There's a lot of like just things that went on when I was a kid growing up, and then I would tell people I'm from Memphis. I'm a Memphis fan. They'd be like, Memphis? Why?
Yeah.
They're nothing but a bunch of just low lifes that don't do anything but crime and just mess around and everything like that. And guys like you and the guys that have represented this program, it's unbelievable to see the growth that we've had. Like you have class act guys, like I just said, like yourself, like Coach Silverfield, like the guys that are carrying our team around. Calvin Austin, who is a hometown boy, carrying the team around. Sean Dykes, those guys carry themselves in a great manner. Mm-hmm. And I think the country is starting to notice that and see that. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. I think there's going to be another expansion process. Yeah. And I think that we will get in the second part. And if we don't, either way, it's still Memphis versus everybody. So
yeah, for sure.
It is. You know, Brady, let's just talk a little bit of football for just real quick. There was a shock last night down in Tallahassee, Florida. Jacksonville State pulled off a shocking victory over Mike Norvell. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that for a second.
Yeah, I watched that live on the bus home.
Oh, did you? Oh, no.
I about crap my pants. I mean, that's just
to lose like that. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's already as a player and a coach, it's already like gut wrenching enough to just not play the way you want to play. Mm-hmm. Even if they would have won that game, no one's walking into that locker room satisfied. You know what I'm saying? And so to have that occur.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt so bad.
I feel terrible for the guys that are down there that were here. I mean, like I said, they helped build groundwork in Memphis, and they go down there and they get torn in half by this fan base.
It's tough. And you know what? It hurts even more because they probably should have won last week, or at least should have caused the game to be prolonged a little bit. But I thought for sure that all right, this team looks different than the last year's Seminoles. And it's not a disrespect, but it's just, it feels like they had, their culture has changed, and the result of last night's game doesn't change that. I think their program is beginning to buy in, and I think they'll have a solid season. But last night is just one of those ones that's going to haunt you for a while.
Jacksonville State has been known to upset. They beat Auburn a couple years back, everything like that. I don't consider them an FCS team.
No.
They have FBS talent, and a lot of guys transfer to go to school down there.
For sure.
Because one, it's like 2 hours from the beach. You're not far from Birmingham. You got a lot of stuff to do down there. You're not far from Atlanta either. So, Jacksonville State has a very good program. And that's got to be taken into account with this.
Nonetheless, though,
it stinks. It does stink because you're Florida State, and losing to an FCS school isn't what their fans want. So
That's what no one
I've
knows.
been through it. Memphis lost to UT Martin. I can't believe I just said that. They lost to UT Martin in what, 2011? Yeah, 2011.
Yeah, so that's 10 years.
After what, a
4-hour
18-hour rain delay. I was
Tsunami.
standing in the stands in 2 feet of water,
Yeah.
and UT Martin's athletic director refused to cancel the game.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. So, look, I feel you, Florida State fans. I've been here before.
Yeah.
But
UT Martin didn't
let me
plant a flag
say
in the middle of the
something
field
real quick.
either.
Yeah, but let me say something real quick. And I'm talking directly to the Florida State fan base. We have a former player under their head coach, Mike Norvell. We have 2 guys right here that are big fans of Mike Norvell. Support the guy.
Yes.
Give him a chance to win.
Yes.
Don't let him go after 2 years. You can't run him out of town. The guy's gotten, what, the number 5 recruiting class in the country the last 2 years in a row, I believe. He's got talent down there.
Not done recruiting this year.
No, he's not done recruiting this year. But you have to give him a chance. It was the same thing here when we lost the Boca Raton Bowl, and Riley Ferguson and Anthony Miller were our 2 best players. Had a decent year that year, but we also lost to USF and lost games we should not have lost.
Yeah.
You had question marks. Then the next year we got the Liberty Bowl game. You lost the Liberty Bowl game, but you saw the potential. We had 10 wins that year.
Great game.
Great game. The next year was your first year.
Yeah. Underachieved at a
We did.
such a high level.
But we saw the potential. The next year, you win the AAC championship.
Yeah.
You go to the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the best year. No, it's not arguably. It's the best year in program history.
Absolutely.
We had. I was going to say arguably. The only reason I was going to say it is because
Did
we.
you say arguably?
I was going to, and the only reason I was going to is because I'm going to have the fans that are 70 and 80 years old tell me that we had an undefeated team in 1972.
1945.
Yeah, they went 9. So here's the funny thing: they went 9-0-1. So they went 9-0-1 that one year, and the one tie was with Ole Miss, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I was going to say arguably, because a lot of our people watching are going to argue with me over that.
They are.
But as far as I'm concerned, the best team's 2019.
Yeah, we are. It is by far. I mean, when you look at this Memphis program, talking about the Cotton Bowl, talk a little bit about that experience for you.
I mean, it was surreal. Obviously, it would have been the best if we could finish it off with that W, which honestly,
Micah Parsons is a beast.
oh yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he is.
He's a stud. I mean, dude's gonna be he's gonna be in the Pro Bowl.
I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Did you see his first game the
I
other day?
mean, yeah, but I think if you're
I'm not going to give him.
that's
Yeah,
jumping the
sure.
trigger, you know.
That's what I do on the show. I just
and
blow
you can
smoke
do
out of my
it.
butt.
You can do it. It's fine. You can pull that off. But
Yeah, arguably going to be a Hall of
he's-
Famer.
He's a stud. He's a stud. But I mean, we competed our asses off in that
We
game.
did.
And
Yeah.
I think we have in that team in that year, you know, if we play that team multiple times, we have the ability to win multiple games.
Oh, we beat them
I think
3 out
at
of
full
5.
strength,
We beat them 3 out of
I
5.
think at full strength you win that game.
You do.
You don't have Joey Magnifico. You don't have.
There's no excuses, but
Oh, I know.
100%. Like if we're playing the wedding game and all that crap, yeah. I mean, we showed what we can do. We still didn't play our best game. We played really well, but it wasn't our best. And you know, we lost a handful of coaches that kind of hurt us on the defense side of the ball.
Yeah, Fuller ended up going to FSU with Norvell.
I mean, that's all part of the game. But yeah, no, I mean, just to answer your question again, that was such a fun experience, such a fun year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you look back and there's still even in that good of a year, just the competitor in you, there's still so many God, well, we could have done this. What if we did this? But yeah, I mean, it's historical, man. It was absolutely legendary. I mean, there was a freaking book on it.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be remembered forever. And I'm extremely, extremely fortunate and grateful to to have been, your guys' quarterback during that time, and to be a part of that group and that team that did special things. And so hopefully we can make sure that isn't the best year ever, and we get this thing going to that height, which I think we do have the potential.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of really good young, not just Seth, but like there's a lot of young
Brandon
freshmen
Thomas.
kids.
By the way, y'all
On this
listening,
team.
Brandon Thomas is the leading rusher in the NCAA right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
He is number one in the NCAA in 2 games.
He's doing a great job, and there's young talent on the other side of the ball. Soderfield's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
With recruiting, continuing to achieve at a high level. But like I said about our position groups, same goes with our team. It's still early, and we've got to continue to prove it every single week. Because now we're entering the true meat of our schedule. And while there's a handful, you just in sports and in college football, you can't get to the feeling of like looking at a schedule and trying to like pencil in, I think this, I think that, because going into that 2019 year, there was a handful of teams like, SMU turned out to be like one of the best teams in the country.
Yep.
And the year prior they were crap.
Yep.
And so our conference is extremely tough, and there's not one week, unless UConn is still here. That's going to be.
By the way, UConn lost again yesterday, and they're now ranked
Yeah,
130th in the
I
country.
feel bad for them, but
I don't feel bad. They jumped ship from the conference because they thought it was a trash conference. Good for them. Enjoy playing basketball in the Big East and losing your football program in 2 years.
Yeah,
Looking at you, UConn.
It's done. It's done.
but yeah, no, our conference is tough, man. And so
Oh, yeah.
we're going to open up with 2 opponents on the road, and we've got to get through Mississippi State this week and a really competitive, tough UTSA team the next week. And so I'm excited to see what happens. But we're gonna start entering the bulk of this thing, and we're gonna see if these dudes are made up.
Oh, yeah. Next week is going to be, like I said earlier, it's your first test, your first true test. Arkansas State's good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Your first
they're competitive.
Not only are you coming in at home against Mississippi State, you're also looking at one of the longest winning streaks at home in the country, holding on to that.
Sure.
I do think the Memphis fans will show up next week. It looks like, knock on wood, that there's going to be weather out there.
What, sunshine?
Well, Brady, I got to be honest with you. The mantra behind your career was, can you play football in the rain?
Yeah.
Your last game ever was the only game you ever had to play in the rain, besides your first year here.
No, my first year, we got all of our rain games.
Yeah. And then your next 2 years, you just don't play in the rain at all.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it rained during the Cotton Bowl. I don't know if people remember
we
that.
were indoor.
Yeah, we were. Well, I know we were indoor, but people in the stands.
Saturday, it's sunny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, meteorologist Brady White here with us today.
Yeah.
He's just like Dave Brown.
Good deal.
Okay, hey, I will
Beautiful day.
take it. 88? I will take it.
Beautiful day.
Look, that's why I do a podcast. I'm not smart.
Leave that to me.
Yeah. We have a doctor sitting at the table. I'm gonna let him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna let him tell me what's at play. Oh,
But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. This is going to be a big week.
for
But
sure.
I'll see, we'll see if I'll be around. It could be gone. Who knows?
Hey, I hope for your sake, I hope you're gone,
Yeah,
but
me
also
too.
for my sake, I hope you're here.
Yeah, we'll see how they approach this week. I think the mentality of the team is strong. I think, I think people were happy about the win, but I think this program's reached a point where it's winning is expected,
Hey,
which
man.
is awesome.
Yes.
And sometimes it almost be a detriment because Coach Soderfield repetitively said it, and I said it all the time. Winning is tough in college football. I mean, at any level, but at this high of a level in this sport,
Mm-hmm.
every one you win, you have to be grateful for and understand that that's a big deal because, our fan base has been through winning is hard.
Yep.
And so, but I think it's awesome that we have a group of guys and a culture in place where now, if we don't win how we want to, we have a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
And there's some good and bad in both of that, but I think that's really good because I think this week our guys are going to come hungry. They understand the weight of this week, and I think they'll have a really good work week and walk into Saturday ready to roll.
Any SEC team we play is a rivalry game for us.
Yeah.
As far as Memphis is concerned. Now, for maybe Mississippi State, they might not consider us a rival, but they're 3 hours. I mean,
We've had some battles.
we've had some battles with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and I was at the game. I was young when Tommy West
Yeah.
walked midfield,
Yep.
and him and Jackie Sherrill almost dropped gloves
He told-
midfield after we took an L.
So the story behind that is Joe Lee Dunn was the defensive coordinator at Mississippi State. He came over to Memphis.
Who came to
He
Memphis?
came to Memphis. So he ran this 3-3-5. At that time, it was a new defense. Nobody knew anything about it. You couldn't stop it. So Jackie Sherrill came across and told him, he said something to Tommy West about, you send him a message. Tommy West looked at him and said, I ain't no damn messenger, boy. You could something yourself. Right
Yeah,
in the middle of the field.
Tommy West did this on the M logo,
Yes.
midfield
Yeah.
in Starkville, Mississippi,
With cameras in his face.
with cameras in his face, ESPN, everybody, and he said, I'm not no messenger boy.
Yeah.
Tommy West has some of the best sound bites
Yes.
of all time
That's awesome.
when it comes to a college football coach, because
Yeah.
he's this Southern dude from mid-Tennessee.
I love good sound bites.
Hey, man, you got to support the team. Oh, man. I love Tommy West. He was a good dude. He's now the D-line coach at MTSU. He's actually you have to give him just as much credit as you give to a guy like Justin Fuente,
Yes.
because
Yes.
Tommy West, in that we weren't really making bowl games. We were going 500, and we had a couple losing seasons here and there up until we hired him. He was the head coach at Clemson and then came over to Memphis. Weird saying Clemson to Memphis now, just because of how good Clemson's been. But, so, yeah, Tommy West leaves Clemson, ends up head coach at Memphis. You have some down years here and there. Tommy West gets here, and then he gets D'Angelo Williams here. That's when things change for Memphis football.
For sure.
That's when people showed up, and I'm sure you've met D'Angelo. I think he was at the game last night.
Absolutely. That's my dude.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you're a player, if you don't meet D'Angelo, that means you're not on the roster.
well,
Like,
not
you're
every
just-
player gets to meet
I would
D'Angelo Williams.
imagine he's talking to the team. I don't know, 50,000 times.
I don't know. The dude's busy. He's got 4 kids and a wife, and he lives in North Carolina.
And he's got a foundation.
Yeah,
He's busy.
yeah.
he is good.
No, but I had I was fortunate enough to hang out with him multiple times and go do stuff at St. Jude's or Levant with him. So I got to chit chat and hang with D'Angelo. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's the man.
He is very petty, and that's what I love about him.
I know, I love it though. It's something that you appreciate. It's who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day, he posted something on Twitter or Facebook, and it said, ask Siri who the worst team in the NFL is, because he hates the Cowboys, and he just always has growing up. And the answer under it said, the Dallas Cowboys are in last place in the NFL, which they are right now. Shout out to Tyler out here in the crowd. Cowgirls fan over here. Dak Prescott might win comeback player of the year, but the Cowboys are not going to do anything.
Oh, easy out there in the crowd.
Oh, yeah, our crowd's getting restless out here. How about y'all come up here and fight me? I'm just kidding. Maybe. Brady would beat my ass, that's for sure.
We wouldn't fight.
Brady and I would never fight. Yeah, man, let's kind of translate from college football into the NFL.
Okay.
So right now, today's the first day of all the games.
Yeah.
You had a game Thursday night. I know you're a Tom Brady fan. Look at my jersey.
I mean,
Cheering for our guy, Tom Brady.
It's okay.
we go.
Just talk about the influence he's had on you as a quarterback, and what you see out of the NFL and what the biggest difference could be in the NFL compared to college football.
Yeah, well, I just was I'm a football junkie. That's part of the reason I'm around. And I love doing just helping for nothing. It's just, I love it. And so when I was a kid, just growing up, my name's Brady, and so I saw this guy with the name Brady on the back of his jersey, and he was going to the Super Bowl and a stud. And
Unbelievable.
so that's, everyone kind of back, my friends back home, all growing up, always gave me grief. They thought I was a bandwagon, but that's the genuine story of how I became a Patriots, or it was really a Tom Brady guy, but he was on the Patriots. I thought he was going to retire a Patriot.
We all did.
He still retire a Patriot, but
Absolutely. But
he won't play for the Patriots.
So that, unfortunately, I've never been able to meet him or anything.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of NFL great quarterbacks, whether it was just as a kid at a camp or running into them at a coincidence, or as of recently with the Campbell Award, I was able to talk on the phone with Archie Manning and Peyton, and
That's awesome.
yeah, it was super cool.
As much as I hate Ole Miss and Tennessee, that's awesome.
No, it's awesome. Your kind of football kid comes out.
Oh yeah.
But no, I've always been, Tom's my guy, and just watched him throughout the year. I just love everything about this dude. He's not the biggest, not the strongest, not even close to being the fastest. The dude is a competitive SOB.
Yeah.
What's between his ears is on another level. What's in his chest is on another level. And he's the greatest of all time. And for a guy like me, I just felt like I related to that. I'm not saying I'm Tom Brady.
No, yeah.
I just feel a lot of the characteristics have similarities. My whole life, I've never been the biggest, never been the strongest, never been the fastest. But I'll tell you one thing I do is I win. And I've told you guys that when I played here. That's all I care about. And I'm competitive as hell. Want to play the best as I can, obviously. But I just think at this position, it's so much more than physical, tangible things, man. You got to have, it's that it factor, and you have to have that. And while it's so vague and so kind of stupid for people to hear, it's something that when you see it, and you can feel it. And that dude's obviously got it. He's the greatest to ever walk this planet Earth. I don't think there's going to be guys that are all these young dudes that are in the NFL are studs. I've worked out with them. I've trained with them. I've played against them. They're amazing. But I don't think there'll ever be another Tom Brady.
He just carries the biggest chip on his shoulder.
He does.
And you know what? If you think of a city as a football player, you could think of Tom Brady. We just carry our chip on our shoulder, and we go with it, and we always think we're the underdog. You know what? You can hate us, but we're still going to hit you in the mouth.
It's great. I mean, Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, they both have, and you don't have to have this, but they both, they find ways to motivate themselves by if you watch The Last Dance, Michael Jordan would create stories about another player just to hate him for however many minutes of basketball.
Which is hilarious, but it's awesome.
I don't think Tom does that, but Tom, that's what I love about him is some people think, it baffles me. Some people think he's arrogant, and I'm like, dude, you guys are clueless if you think that, because this guy acts like a 6th round draft pick, 199th pick, and he's won 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He'll go win an 8th, and the next season still act like he has been slighted and has a lot to prove. And that's part of it, man. And that's what I wanted to kind of. That's part of me, I believe. And so when I was here, it didn't matter how well I played, in my season opener that broke whatever record, and it didn't matter how well we played in 2019. It was like, it's always about constantly proving yourself and earning it. Week in and week out in practice and every game day. And so he's amazing, man. And so, what was your second part of the NFL question?
I kind of forgot about it because they finally put the Titans and Cardinals game up here, so I'll think of something. No, what do you? It was. What do you think is like the biggest going to be the biggest difference, biggest challenge from college to?
Yeah. So I'd say.
I would say the speed of the game.
No, everyone thinks it's the speed of the game. It's not the speed of the game because if you play it now for a lot of people it is, but if you play at like a high level Division I, like now let's just use Alabama because they're pretty.
Yeah.
If you play at Alabama, you're playing really tough competition, and you're competing against other Alabama players week in week out.
Right.
There still is an adjustment period, but it's not like the speed of play like it is high school to college. I mean, there is a little bit like just because it's the NFL. It's like everyone's fast, everyone's good. There's not some guy there that's a slappy.
There's not really a talent gap.
But for me, and I think it's not necessarily like the speed. It's the
IQ of the game.
yes. Everyone on that level is like smart.
Yeah.
Like everyone's really talented. You're not going to get there if you're not good enough.
Or you're going to get cut like that.
You won't even
Get there.
get there.
Yeah.
But everyone is smart. Like DBs, D linemen, offensive linemen. Everyone thinks at a high level.
Gotcha.
And it allows them to play faster, allows them to like there's so many YouTube and documentary and different TV series where you can go watch and just listen to how these guys
think. Yeah.
And it's just incredible. And to me, it makes me geek out. And so I would say that's the biggest difference is the IQ of it, but it's also like the processing of information, whether it's learning a playbook in after being with the Titans for a little bit, that's why like I'm extremely confident. That's why I'm staying ready because I know I belong in that league.
Yeah. We know you belong there as well.
Talent-wise, but also like that's just it's like when you find a group of friends, you just know like these are your people.
Well, and it's funny you say that because all my friends are here, so like it's perfect because they're here supporting me.
Yeah.
It'd be the same thing. It's the
So,
exact
for
same
me,
thing.
I had that feeling when I was in the rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
I feel like this is my
belong.
This is my perfect fit. That's where
Yeah.
I belong.
That's where you're supposed
And
to
so the playbook and everything, at least for
How big is an NFL playbook?
I mean, it's big, and I didn't get the full thing. Obviously, I wasn't signed; it wasn't there for an extended period of time. But I know it's large, and they ask a lot. However, it's just a different way they go about it. Like, because here, our offensive system is very pro style. We're just out of the gun, and it's the way we're a fast tempo, so you do your signaling and whatnot. Well, there it's like it's just like a different way of learning. It's like if you were in class and a teacher was like writing something out on a board, well, you can like follow her as she writes. It's like when you're signaling plays, you can follow the play as they're signaling it.
Gotcha. Well, I'm a visual learner, so that's perfect.
And so with the NFL, it's like whatever the long play that you just got signaled to, you can go, oh, I can work in formation, motion, protection. Oh, there's the concept. All right, let's run it.
Cool.
NFL, it's like just freaking run on sentence of a play.
Yeah.
We just told you better have like heard it all and memorize, like know it all, and then go. Then you got to go stand in a huddle. And so it's not that it's hard. It's just a different.
It's different terminology. It's
just a different terminology. It's a different way of learning. And
Gotcha.
So it's football.
Well, that's why it's pro football. Football's football.
Yeah.
And so it's not like the concepts get harder. It's not like anything. I'm used to having control of protection, making calls on line scrimmage. I can. That's not hard for me. And for a lot of guys like Mac Jones, like he started because he came in and he he owned that playbook, and he probably hasn't mastered it, but he probably has a really strong grasp of it and performed really well in the preseason.
I don't know if you've heard of the reports. So there are reports coming out of Patriots camp that Cam Newton was going to Mac Jones trying to learn the playbook.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
I
saw that, and it's.
I mean, I don't know if I believe it or
It's
not.
media, man. It's the
Yeah,
media.
and
it's like you don't
we
know
call
what's-
ourselves media, but we're just a bunch of dummies that do a podcast. So
But it's
we just like
people-
talking to football players
Yeah.
and people like that. All right, Nathan, get your butt up.
Don't be scared.
Wes, you're gonna switch with Wes. I guess I'm gonna stay up here.
I get to bust the nut.
I guess because I'm considered closest to Brady, they want me up here with them to protect him.
Yeah, I don't need your protection.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was not an offensive lineman, that's for sure. I would not do a very good job.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I do a very, very bad job at blocking. It looks like, did
Yeah, it's
did they fumble?
Who's scooping scored?
The Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
So now 10-0.
What a start. What a start to the year.
Hey, great start for Ryan Tannehill and his.
Who fumbled? Ooh.
Oh, Ryan Tannehill fumbled. Wow. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great
So
start. Great start.
All right, what do you got for
what do
me?
you got on?
So we talk about the rookie camp for the NFL.
Yeah.
So can you how was the rookie camp going in? Like, were you nervous going into it?
No, man, I was so pumped. Just because it was, obviously the lead up was unfortunate with the way COVID kind of affected the draft process and then the way the draft went. It is what it is. But yeah, I was just super excited to have the opportunity to be there. I knew I was the only quarterback there, and I did have stuff to lose, but it was like I went in there just knowing like I'm gonna do every single thing that I can, and it's not fake. Like I was just gonna do everything I can to put my best foot forward, but also to help, run this rookie mini camp for this, for this organization the best way.
How many days? How many days was mini camp?
So rookie mini camp's only like 4 days.
Okay. That's not a lot of time to learn a playbook.
No, it's not.
No, and they don't give you
Yeah, you said
playbook.
they give you a little bit of it, but not.
Yeah. Now the difference is the rookies that are signed. You're going to go through rookie minicamp. You're going to get a chunk of the playbook. But then I think if you're actually signed there, once you get through it, then they'll probably get. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, but you're going into.
You'll be there.
You're
Don't
going to
worry.
roll into. They had like a week of OTAs, and then it was right back into minicamp with the entire team. So I'd imagine you're going to need to start consuming more of the playbook. But yeah, no. So for me, it was super fun, and I was excited about it. Wasn't nervous at all, really. Just upon getting there, was just very appreciative, very, very thankful. Making sure I was respectful to everyone, and then did everything I can. So upon getting there, was just trying to, kind of get acquainted with the rest of the rookies, especially the offensive guys. Start digesting this playbook, had meetings in the hotel with them and walking through stuff on our own, and you're right back down to the bottom of the totem pole, so you gotta work your way back up. And so it was a lot of fun though, man. Like every day was like I tell everyone I had the best time of my life. It was a blast. And that's part of the reason like I know that's my place. And so once it comes, I'm excited. I know I'll be ready, and I'll probably be in there for a good amount of time.
Now, I know when you was with the Tigers, I even told Wes, I was always saying, Brady for the Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying.
That was a movement through the Memphis fan base, bro. That was a real movement through the Memphis fan base.
It was. And, it was big because you come in and you just turned, the Memphis program, you turned it around, man. I mean, it was amazing. The thing you did, for Memphis, it was just, you had all the weapons on the offensive side. But at the same time, you came into every game, you looked calm, focused, and just, let's be honest, you dominated, man. It was amazing to watch. So, and I know, going into the next level, and you're waiting for that call. And I know you're going to bring the same intensity that you brought with the Tigers into the next league, which is going to be big. And I know, like I say, you're waiting for that one call. And while you're waiting, you're going through your workouts and everything. So you're prepared to get that call.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're waiting and everything, and, you're doing your workouts and all that, and you look at this Tiger team this year, and what they got going for you, what's some big things you're seeing on Tiger offense?
It always starts with the O-line for me.
You said that when you came in, not on air earlier. You talked
Yeah,
about
and even while I'm here, it's always about the O-line. Those are the ones. I don't care how good the quarterback is. Even when it's me, it's not about me. It's all about the O-line. Those are my guys up front, and I think we have a much improved offensive line this year. And you got a great coach with Coach Silverfield, who's the head man, but who in the past has been an O-line coach, and so he obviously helps them out. And then you have another awesome offensive line coach with Jim Bridge, who's doing a great job. And so the guys up front, so far, so good, man. They're killing it. I think the first 2 games of the season, we've I think we damn near averaged 300 yards rushing. I know the first game we did, but I think last night it was like 270 something.
Yeah, I mean, you have the number one rusher in the
And so
country.
it's
We're doing some damage.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, 275.
So just shy, and so that's a big deal because
That's
that
a lot of yards.
if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have anything because that's the engine of your car offensively. And so with that, I think that's huge because that's going to help establish the run game, which is going to set up the pass game. Step up protection. And so that's the biggest thing for me. What else I'm seeing? Noah gave up 50 points last night, but I'm seeing some young competitive guys on the defensive side of the ball that are learning from some vets in Jacoby Francis and J.D. Taylor. And
Gregory Rubin really excites me.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching him last night. I thought, I know he gave up that one on the
He had
sideline.
one big play
It was
on the
right in
sideline.
front of me, but dude, it was contested.
He had his hand right there.
He tipped it up.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
kid made a great catch.
So Justin, who's in the crowd, his brother is good friends with Greg, and he told me when Greg committed to Memphis that he was going to start day one.
Wow.
They said he was a dog and everything like that, and I was like, oh, true freshman, starting cornerback.
Yeah.
You don't see it often, especially with the veteran leadership we have in the secondary.
Yeah.
Justin was right. Gregory Rubin's starting,
Yeah.
and the kid is good. I see a lot of growth in him. I see a lot of freshman TJ Carter. TJ, his
Good.
freshman year was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that was the year before I got here.
Yeah, he was unbelievable his freshman year.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. But Gregory Rubin, man, he's put on a show. Jacoby's been very good. Quindell's going to catch up. I think Quindell's trying to get back to game speed.
No, I think the secondary's improved. But, back to us now, I just think you have young talent on the team that is buying in and is going to help this team compete at a high level. And so you've got that on the defensive side of the ball. There's some young defensive linemen that I think with development, with coaching, and buy-in, as they get bigger and stronger, will be really good. And then offensively, obviously, we already mentioned the line, but you've got two true freshmen. Or Brandon's not a true freshman, but with COVID year maybe. You've got Seth, you've got Brandon, and then we've got some young receivers who obviously aren't starting right now. And we'll see what they're made of, but I think they'll be good too. It's just going to be a matter of when their time comes, they step up and rise to the occasion. Because if you look at all the guys that are starting right now, those are all guys that, Calvin Austin, I think they use this. They used this earlier in the week with the freshmen kind of going into the season to let them know, like Calvin didn't play a ding down until like year 3.
Yeah.
And so,
Fun fact, Calvin Austin scored a touchdown in his first ever college game. Didn't see the field for like 2 years after that.
But the thing is that Kyle Austin is a speedster.
Yeah,
no, yeah,
Calvin is the fastest. I am willing to go out there and say Calvin is the fastest college football player I've ever watched play.
He's one of them. But no, Calvin's that's why I'm bringing it up. Is Calvin? I love Calvin. He's a dog, and he's going to be he's already in the process of being the next Memphis great wide receiver. But my point is like that kid didn't even play until year 3 of his collegiate career.
Exactly.
And so if you watched him in 2019, like he stepped into a role and was absolutely nails when me and him had some huge connections that year, especially towards the end of the year. Big down the distances, big games. He ultimately ended up earning a scholarship that year. And so there's these young
Didn't
guys.
he get the scholarship like the Houston game?
Houston game.
Yeah.
And
I was out down
yeah.
there at the Houston game,
Yeah.
and he had a great game there. Yeah.
And so my point in saying that, and you've got guys like Javon Ivory who is still coming into his role and will be a good receiver for us. But like last year, he had a role to play, and he had a big game against UCF, which was a huge week for us. And so my point in saying is the young talent looks really promising, but it's all potential. And it's the same with even Brandon and Seth, who look great. Like they're going to have to consistently show it. And so, but it's exciting for Tiger fans, for our program to see how much talent we have, all the potential we have. And we've got enough leadership right now where they'll be establishing the culture and the way we do things, just to keep this freaking train rolling, man. So it's looking good.
Well, I have to do a plug real quick. Shout out to Tito's Vodka for helping sponsor this show for us. They made these banners for us. Love us and Tito's Vodka, man. They're really good. Also, shout out to SIdeCar Café out here on Wooden Road for allowing us to be out here today. It's been a good day so far. We got a little bit more to go. Brady, I have maybe 3 more questions for you. Then I'm going to let you roll on out of here.
Yeah.
And but question 1 is, what is your favorite football play that you've ever had?
But
Like touchdown, pass, rushing touchdown, anything. What is your favorite thing that you've ever done in a football game? And it could be high school, Pee Wee, Arizona State, Memphis. Yeah, anything.
Wait. Pee Wee does have some good trick plays.
It does.
They do. But have you ever done a Philly special or anything like that?
dude, that's a lot of plays that I got to roll. That's a tough question.
See, I thought that might have been the easiest question I've asked today.
No, that's very different. I don't have a favorite play.
I outsmarted a doctor. Look at me.
There you go. I hate to say it, but I can't answer that question. So we're gonna have to go to question 2.
Okay, so question 2 is, how can people keep up with you and what you're doing as far as social media?
I mean, the obvious is if you follow me, you can obviously see all that stuff. That's the biggest thing. It's probably just checking in on social media, because I think just the city of Memphis, and obviously if my opportunity comes calling the NFL, it's going to be on social media. And so that's an easy way to follow me. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
If you happen to be like you, obviously there's some personal relations.
Yeah.
There's
Don't be texting me asking people to ask Brady questions.
I let him do his workouts and everything like that. He's free to do his own thing.
He's free to do his own thing. The last thing is not really a question. I just want everybody here to stand up and give a round of applause. The greatest quarterback in Memphis football history.
Thank you very much.
Now you're free to go.
We're not going to hold you against your will.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, guys.
Yes, sir.
You can get the good mic now.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Hi, Brady, I was going to ask you. No, you were transferred.
Oh, we're still live. Oh, we're still live. No, I can't get up. Brady, thank you for coming again. Nathan's in the way of the camera. Brady's out of the way, thank the Lord. Y'all see my beautiful self over here. Hey, this is the first time I've been on by myself. I might not let anybody else up here. I'm just kidding. You want me to sing you a song? Phil Glass wants me to sing a song for everybody. Country roads, take me home to the place. You want me to sing Friends in Low Places? What do you want me to sing? Just kidding. 4-Star Sports Media is presented to you by BA Masks. Our friends Alan McFerrin and company. Badass Masks, as they're actually called. They make great content, quality stuff over there. As Wes is joining me over here again. No, they make great stuff over here, man. BA Masks, they have Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker.
Yeah, Justin Tucker room. Robert and DJ is in the room as well. Also does Cross. Now it's actually in the NIL room.
That's awesome.
So now they have what's called BA athletes.
Well, Christian is going to join Wes up here while I take a little bit of a break. Oh, keys. Okay. Those are my keys. Here's your keys.
Matter of fact, let's talk a little college football up next. I'm gonna let Christian come on and do his show real quick with Zach. Talk a little bit about the Arkansas-Texas game from last night. That was a great game last night.
Yeah, I picked Texas to win by, 50? And Arkansas ended up winning. So.
Get ready to sign up.
Will you sign our sign?
Yeah, sign our sign.
Yeah, like where
Right
it says,
there.
here, how many did you get a Sharpie? I think they have 100.
No, I'll bring them all.
I know, it's the greatest. A Sharpie? Hey, I'm not.
Coming to you live from SIdeCar Café in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm joined by Razorback Zach. Man, you were there yesterday. You know, I wanted to be there, but you know, I couldn't be there. Is this the biggest win? This is the biggest win on your ticket for sure.
Yeah, we got a Sharpie.
Thank you, guys. Is he muted? Could be muted. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, his intro is playing. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's just they kind of
We're waiting on Zach here. Trying to figure this out. Be patient with us. Wes.
Sign the white part, where it's 5365.
Okay. Am I going to be in the camera?
No, we don't care.
No, we don't care. Yeah, this is evidence.
Can you
There you
get
go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Nate, can you get Wes? I don't know how to get. He may have went to the.
I went to the bathroom.
Appreciate you, brother. Oh, okay.
Now you gotta sing that song, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
I appreciate it, Ray. Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Deep right.
Wes. I don't know what's going on. He's not. I know we're still live, but
Sir, appreciate you, brother. I'll get you up soon.
I may let you take it, and then I'll listen to this here. Yeah. Yeah. When you look at last night's game, of course, Texas came into that game only a 7-point favorite, which really surprised me. Yeah. Hang on. I'll just back it up a little bit.